everyone. You are watching Horrible Game, and coming right up, we have ripWSB with Black the Fall.
Right. Well, good evening, or I guess if you're not then good whatever for everybody. This is not this is Black the Fall, but we're just going to get into it. So just a quick countdown. Just start from so 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is a I guess imagine it like something that we all at the end grew up, moved to Romania, and was stuck in a weird 90s dystopian regime. I think technically he is kind of and trying to escape these horrible conditions. So we're going to be aiding in his escape and hopefully in a quick manner. So it starts off with cardio. There's going to be a lot of firefighting, stationary firefighting coming up in the future. If you're wheels, then this is for you. We'll also be doing some practice. We'll be doing some push-ups and pull-ups at some point. So we'll get the cardio going and
Hey y'all, we're just having a few technical difficulties. Just bear with us. We'll be back as soon as we can with more Black the Fall. What is up, my friends? How are you enjoying Horrible Games? Tell me in the chat, because, like, I'm lonely. Cat Jam, Cat Jam! We can get some more Cat Jams for Raclette. Raclette is a super sweet kitty that came to Heartland Animal Shelter from a hoarding case where she lived with 80 other cats. Look at this sweet girl they're trying to adopt out. When she first came to us, she was really shy, but has now learned to trust people and loves one-to-one attention. Raclette was recently in a foster home where she became best friends with a family dog and loved to cuddle with her foster family. Raclette does have a mild eye condition that requires daily eye drops, but she's very sweet and easy to handle for her medication. Her ideal home would be mostly calm and quiet with a cat-friendly dog. If you live in the Chicagoland area, you could take Raclette home. All right, I am getting word that we have fixed our technical problems and we are ready. So here is ripWSB with Black the Fall.
Transition back in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright. Like nothing ever happened.
That's right. Nothing happened at all. Here we go. Here we go.
Right, hopefully it sounds a little bit better. We're gonna try kind of a hard little skip here. We're trying to break the top and middle panes of glass at the same time. Cool, and it didn't work. So welcome back to the show, I guess. Instead of that, we're just gonna take the kind of the intended route, I guess, if you want to call it. We'll take this little scaffold here to the bottom floor. And then break the glass again. Yeah, I don't know what was caught and what wasn't caught. So this is the machinist guy trying to escape. Pretty much the plot of the game. Eventually we will meet a little robot. Bit of a spoiler alert. So we kind of adopt this little robot, and together we kind of make it through the rest of the barren and hostile landscape. But we are trying to avoid lasers and these guards. They are not very cool, and there's a lot of potential death traps and stuff that we're going to try and avoid. Try to skip this machine gun. Oh snap! Okay, that worked. That one's kind of tricky, so I will take the W's where I can get them. So we wait out this machine gun, do the old fire trick. But yeah, this is just a kind of atmospheric puzzler type of game. It's like the second cousin to Inside and Limbo, like the guy that has to sit at the kid table for Thanksgiving and holiday meals. But I still enjoy it. It was a fun game to learn. Some pretty good puzzles if you like those. Just trying to stay alive. But now we have this little arm control device that we are stealing from this guard that is taking a nap. So now we can control our little buddies. We'll get him to open this door for us, and we can also use this to control machinery throughout the game. So this is going to be a really big tool for pretty much the rest of the run. There are times that we won't have it available, and it'll just be kind of the good old puzzle platforming days. But for now, we have some assistance, and unfortunately we're kind of controlling our fellow humans out here, so we are using them to our advantage and then kind of just leaving them behind. But one of the weird little visual glitches of the game is you can walk into some walls and jump, and it'll kind of like levitate the guy. So we will use this a couple spots. It's not super helpful, but it's more just funny looking than anything else. So we'll use this on the other side of this room to just kind of pop up over the door and walk through the fence and save a few seconds. And then there's a couple other spots where it'll come into play, but just make our find our own path in life. And we're using our new arm device to make that elevator move. Whenever you see a yellow light, that's usually an indicator that you can interact with something. I might be too close to that guy. Yep. So that's what happens if you die. And if you get caught by these guards. There are plenty of those to go around. So we'll just sneak a little bit further this time. There we go. We will take an intentional death here to speed up the process. We need that guard to pick up the rubber duck right there. And that kind of progresses this little piece of the story, I guess, if you want to call it that. So somehow he does not see us, so we just kind of run by him, get into the elevator, and go down a level. I do like the way this game looks. Oh, there goes the controller. And I like the vibe of the game, so even if the controls are kind of weird sometimes, at least it still looks pretty decent, to me at least. But very colorful, happy color palette going on. But yeah, communism in Romania. What we are
But yeah, communism.
dealing with here. We can sneak past this. There we go. Get him to not murder us. Okay, that's cool. Try this again. You can just kind of sneak past it the whole way. What we'll be trying to do is get to a certain point where the guard hopefully won't see us next time and just kind of jump past them. Yeah, your main controls for the game, you got a run, a sprint button. You have the little arm device that you can control and a jump. So a lot of what we'll be doing in between puzzles is using the sprint and jump button to kind of cover the most ground. Try this again. Okay, there we go. And then a lot of interacting with machinery and people. So we got some more cardio coming up. Gonna borrow this guy, get him ready. Kind of control the other guy. Do the old swaparoo. Please don't kill me. Thank you. Get this guy. The puzzles were pretty fun to try and figure out the first time through. A lot of them actually took quite a while to figure out. So the puzzles in and of themselves are pretty decent, I would say. The controls maybe not so much. They take a little getting used to, but for most of these puzzles is just kind of the intended solution, just trying to do it quickly and not take too many unintentional deaths. So we'll need this guy to help us out. He's got to get off his stationary bike to pull a couple levers, and then once they get pulled, these rotating flap thingies stop, and then we don't die from them. So that's always pretty cool. So do that again. A couple squats, and we're good to go. We're going to be dropping down into this nice, cozy, warm, like lava river, I guess. Going to be avoiding some heavy machinery, as one will do while riding down a lava river. And then at the very end of this is kind of a tricky jump. It shouldn't be a tricky jump, but because the game can be a little weird sometimes, the timing is a little bit peculiar, I guess would be the best term. So we got to time this correctly so we hit this pipe. Thank you so much. Because if you miss it and you die, you have to do that whole thing again where you're just kind of waiting for that little platform you're standing on to make it all the way down. This next jump that'll come up when the pipe breaks is also a little bit tricky for some reason. Okay. Sometimes he'll just jump off and go pretty much just like straight down. I don't know why the timing's weird on that one, but other than that, you just kind of hold the direction you want to go, sprint and jump, and that will take you from A to B. So, very intense gameplay at the moment, but we come up to another puzzle. We're using our arm device to interact with the environment around us. Now we have a line of sight between our dude and the platform in the middle. Up over there. And this. And then we get... Oh, there we go. We get a nice little interaction with the guard once again. And we get to try not to die.
Would now be an okay time for a donation?
Hit it up.
I have a $1 donation here from Nick, who says, our donation bot broke. Will we fix it? I have no idea. What I do have an idea about is that we have had 2 prompts to hydrate from the chat. So, everybody, if you have a drink, drink it now. Remember, stay hydrated.
Nice. Our guy will not be hydrating. Unfortunately, any bit of water he comes in contact with will kill him. So we will try to avoid water in game, but out of game, definitely hit that up. Hopefully this will put us down below. Okay, that's cool. Sometimes the cycle on this little like laser grid right there is a bit mean, so.
In Soviet Russia, hydrate you.
True.
You said something about communism, or what is exactly is going on?
So
in this
yeah,
game?
the studio that created this game are from Romania, and they kind of based some of this game on real world communism that they had to go through. I think in like the 80s and 90s, I want to say. So that, I think for me at least, that's where a lot of the horror of this game kind of comes from, is just the real life implications and what it's roughly based on. So it's just some scary stuff to keep in mind, that there's crazy governments out there and things beyond people's control that they have to deal with. But
That's pretty intense,
yeah,
actually.
So Romania back in the day may not have been the most fun place to be. I'm hoping they didn't have lasers and machine guns everywhere, at least, but yeah. But hydrate, everybody. Alright, so we got this little laser room here. We're going to try and avoid the kind of red wall of death here. Okay. Just rotating some lasers and avoiding some lasers, and we will make it out. This guy's stamina is pretty amazing. I guess is the key to the game. The only strat you have to have is just run and jump. As long as you can do that, as long as you can hold jump, sprint, and to the right, you're pretty good. You've learned most of this speed run. But keep on hopping, keep on lighting up lights, and unfortunately taking advantage of our comrades to escape.
So how did you get into running this game?
I don't know. I think I think I had seen the game. I'd played Limbo and Inside and really enjoyed those. And then I think I happened to see this game, and it visually looks similar to Inside a lot. And so I think I just played it casually and enjoyed it, and then just kind of wanted to learn how to try and optimize some of the puzzles, and I think that was it. Just kind of played it and kept playing it for some reason.
Is it a particular aesthetic that you personally enjoy?
I guess so, yeah. Maybe that's the like,
Because you
hook, line, and
mentioned
sinker.
Limbo, and what was the other game that you said you really liked?
Like the Play Dead games. I do like this. I don't know if this style has like a name or anything, but this sort of weird. I don't even know how to describe it, but this feels
Kind of like atmospherically dark.
Yeah.
A bit, you know, when I think of Limbo, like it's generally, yeah, everything is pretty dark, and then there are like high contrast, like now in this scene, like high contrast, like bright lights at certain points.
Mm-hmm. Okay. About 6 cranks to get this. Woo! All right, I'm gonna try for a tiny little skip. I don't think he's gonna make it. Okay. So this little part of the game, pulling yourself up from a ledge is kind of slow. So I've been trying to delay jumps off of ledges and try to minimize how many times this guy has to pull himself up for his sake and my own. But whoops, too far. So there's not a whole lot you can do to, that was great, to kind of make these parts go quicker per se. At least not that we know of, in terms of finding weird glitches or anything. There are a couple spots where you can kind of break the game a little bit. It's nothing too crazy where you're just gonna magically warp through the game at this point, but maybe one day. But I think that's maybe what drew me to this game as well, is it's just pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy to learn. Just not dying. But we are going to be dropping down this chute. We'll do a little fence push-ups while we wait. And we're good.
Is there a community for this game?
Not really. I think that, I mean, there's like 4 or 5 people that have played it at least and have a run up, but as far as kind of an active running of it, I think I might have been the last one. I've tried to get other people to run it, but I understand it's not really for everybody, or apparently more than like 5 people, but maybe one day.
So if anybody watching now wants to join, you'll be one of the front runners in the community.
I mean, there might be... Alright, this is actually a pretty decent skip. If I jump into that at the right moment... Cool. It puts you past this part. I was actually watching somebody just casually streaming this game, and he happened to jump into that very end of the hot thing and took a death, and wound up on the other side of the puzzle. So it was pretty crazy, and actually there was a... Oh yeah, this part's gonna be kind of tough talking. I gotta hear the... There was a Fridge streamer playing the game, and she also found the same exact like weird skip where she jumped into the end of the flaming bit and got past the puzzle. All right, 1, 2, 3. So there's steam that kind of hisses at you and lets you know the closer you get to the steam, the louder it gets. So that part is gonna be interesting if you are don't have good hearing, I guess. I don't know what you would do there. But yeah, we are outside now. It's not that much better than being inside. I guess you get a little bit of sunlight and some smog or fog, but now we have these fake Metal Gears to deal with. If they spot you, it's really loud and kind of unsettling, so we will try to avoid those as much as possible. And now we get the unfortunate water interaction. So anytime he falls in the water, he dies, or at least you respawn. Maybe he survives, who knows. So
This is like the only time you don't want to hydrate.
yeah, really. For some reason, the robot we find later on has no problem with water, which feels kind of counterintuitive, but maybe not.
It's just you.
Yeah.
You just hate water in this game. What's your personality? I don't know. You wear a gray suit, you have a light on your head, and you hate water.
I mean, I guess we're assuming it's water. It could be like sewage or something, but...
Oh, well. I mean, that would make a lot more sense if it's
or
like
radioactive.
toxic runoff.
Yeah.
I mean, things are looking pretty industrial around here, so that probably isn't water that you
is a
want to
good
hop
point.
into.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll call it water. We'll just call it dirty water.
Water.
Don't wanna...
You know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live in the sewer and they jump in the water all the time.
So we're gonna take this nice depressing ferry across the water. Trying to avoid these red lights. Red lights are not a good thing in this game. The red light special in this instance would be death. So we will do our best to avoid that. Big time saves here are not dying when you can help it. This guy. Sometimes you can stand right behind... Nope, didn't work. Right behind the little bit in the cabin there, and it will miss. It'll just, like, not see you. But, uh-oh. Okay, we're not so lucky that time. But now we get to run into our favorite little robot, who is going to be a big component of most of the puzzles going forward. So we are going to rescue him, or it. I guess it's just a robot. It's kind of bug-like or dog-like. Yes, depending on... I think when he hops up on the walls, he grows, or like an extra pair of legs come out to stay attached to it. So, I don't know. Probably just call it a robot dog for now, but he can do, it can do, it's like step stool mode. So you can use it to climb up on things and reach places that you otherwise would not be able to. So between that and having it hop on these electrical kind of circuit board type things will be the main things we're going to use it for. There are a couple spots where it'll run and jump onto switches and activate things like that, but for the most part we are going to be working in tandem with this little robot buddy. So these little blue squares he can hop on, and that'll kind of make the machinery work around it. So we'll do the same thing here, and then we'll hitch a ride. We'll do some pull-ups on the way and try not to fall off into the questionable water below.
The robot is adorable, and it has some like serious hops.
Yeah, the robot is amazing. I think in the PC and Switch version, maybe. At the very end of the game, you kind of walk through the credits, and the robot will pop up with you and kind of walk along. Unfortunately, this is the PS4 version, and I don't think the robot graces our presence there at the end. So we just had this nice lonely walk at the
like,
very
PS4, you don't get the robot. Deal with it.
Definitely got hosed on this one. But hopefully it comes back. Sometimes doing that weird glitch where you can walk up the wall, it doesn't come into this next area, so then you have to take a death and respawn it. Okay, cool. But yeah, if you are running this game and you need a water or pee break, this is a pretty good spot for it. Just kind of hang around for a few seconds.
Well, sounds like a good time to read a donation then.
Yeah.
I have a $1 donation here from Nick Nack. It says, come on, donation bot, I need you to work. Can we get some donation bot hype? And we should really get some hype for that donation bot because it, in fact, is working.
Ooh. Nice.
Donation bot hype. So that donation takes us up to $10 out of the $25 we are looking to upgrade the very next run, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, to Polish. Now, if we manage to unlock that upgrade, we are going to shave an entire minute off the time of that run. So when you are donating to the Heartland Animal Shelter, please do remember to click on our incentive, the one incentive that we have left, to unlock the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt upgrade to Polish.
Be down for some Polish Witcher 3. That'd be nice.
Right? I want to hear it.
We get some, I guess, a little bit of Romanian from the guards, so we could... Oh no, too early. Got greedy. We get potentially some Romanian and then some Polish. Actually, I hope they speak... Is it Romanian? Is that language? Very uneducated here. I'm gonna stop talking about anything related to not this game. So we'll try this
Romanian
again.
is, in fact, a language.
Oh, thank God. So we're gonna wait for the guard to
You're
go
good.
under the big yellow thing. Try and glitch through this wall, but hasn't been working a whole lot lately. Okay, it kind of did. Wasn't worth doing, but those are the kind of the small little glitches you can do in the game. As far as we know. By we... Yeah, we. There's 3 or 4 of us, that's fine. So we respawn with the robot here. This next part is pretty straightforward, but with the controls how they are, it can be a little frustrating sometimes. Trying to make it over these gaps in the planks. We got our robot buddy helping us out. He is able to swim in the water, he's able to block steam. He is just the best little robot friend. It's just gonna be a guy because I keep calling it he, so. Alright, this part You can get across this whole section in one cycle, but it has been kind of a pain lately. Please don't kill me. Ah! That's what has been happening. It's pretty tight on timing, so that's a little unfortunate, but we'll do it the way that you would normally play through it, where you use the robot to distract this metal gear here, get the birds to fly away, it follows the birds and allows us to kind of mosey on along. That's usually a tough one to try and get all in one go, but worth a shot. Now just kind of some more straight up puzzles. You're just turning cranks and prepping this bucket over the fire. Climb up, please. So we fill this bucket with water, and we're going to put out the flames once we bring our robot back over.
Once again, it is good to hydrate.
There we go. Is a delayed hydration from earlier. There's actually a couple hydration spots in this game. We should have keep that in mind.
I mean, this water just looks a lot nicer than that other quote-unquote water.
That is a good point, yeah. The water in these pipes, good. The water in the overworld, bad.
Water full of industrial runoff,
Yeah.
not so good.
Luckily, our robot friend has no problems with it. And there it is. We'll use it to kind of... Oh. Come back. There we go. Okay. That was supposed to put out the fire, so we'll just try this again. That was weird. I've never seen that before.
Well, never seen it happen before. This never happened before.
Do the old marathon luck drinking game if you are of age. Okay, we'll fill the bucket up once more. Double hydration.
That's good because we had two hydrate things redeemed earlier, so
It's a
perfect.
prophecy, yeah. They knew.
Perfect double hydrate, yeah.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to jump on him. God dang it. Alright, so that's what you do. That's the puzzle solution there. There we go. We're learning on the fly. Promise this is a speed run. Alright, so there is a little bit of water in between this section of pipe. If you run through that water, you will die. It's something I forget about a lot, and it's
Like a puddle?
yeah, like a step in that. And sometimes you can splash in the water, but you don't die. But if you run through it, you do. It's... Come on, little buddy.
Your character is like the water, it burns.
There's got to be something definitely wrong with that water. This is a bit of a risky strat here. This isn't usually how you do this puzzle, but we'll give it a shot. Usually you'll use the robot to jump on and off that little raft there, and it pushes you back left, and then you both jump on the raft and it shoots you off to the right. But if you time jumping on and moving the robot to the left, you can kind of ride the raft as far to the right as you can. Use that robot to kind of help propel you the rest of the way and hope for a safe landing on the very far right. But in between, we have our nice long running and jumping sections. So
would this be a good time to talk about the incentive that we're trying to meet?
yes.
Oh, so how much longer would you say that you have in this run? Are we on target here?
What are we at?
We are at about 33 minutes out of the 50-minute estimate.
I think we should be good, yeah.
So that means that people have less than 20 minutes to get in the money that we are looking to unlock the upgrade to Polish that will save 1 minute on the upcoming run, The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. We're sitting at $10. We're looking for $25. And I do want to point out that our total raised is $577.
Whew.
So
Saving money.
Meeting that incentive will get us really, really close to having raised $600 for the Heartland Animal Shelter.
Well done, everybody. potentially save animals and time on the next one. Be pretty hype. Just doing some more puzzles, casually. There are times that we have to leave our robot buddy behind momentarily. Temporary abandonment before we become reunited once again because we need the help. But we're both escaping, so it's a back scratching situation going both ways. So we get a little lift from our buddy. Yeah, okay, so you got the little like arms up near its face that come out. So it's like dog mode when it's running around and then bug mode when it's up on a electrical blue thing.
This is a little dog bug robot.
Yeah, it is definitely the MVP of the run, especially in the second half. I don't know why we can't like just ride its back. If it gets in the water, we can just swim out to safety, but we'll just kind of ignore that fact for now. We'll work together and solve these puzzles in the meantime.
Maybe it's not like super buoyant. Maybe you would like sink it if you jumped on it.
That could be.
It's just a little pupper bug robot.
These robots were not made for swimming on, they were made for solving puzzles. A lot of machinery going on though. Alright, so we make it through this area with the help of our handy dandy robot friend. Unfortunately, we're going to kind of repay all its kindness with a somewhat violent looking act, but don't worry, it'll be fine. We'll both be fine. But we gotta set it up first, so we're gonna pull this bit so we can climb up later. We are going to just get in the step stool mode here. Just kind of run it back for a second. No big deal. And then
This be an okay time for a donation?
oh yeah.
Well, we just got a $23 donation from Abel Keen, who says, save the frames. And with that, not only did we meet that Witcher 3 Polish incentive, but we just hit $600 raised for the Heartland Animal Shelter. Thank you so much for your generosity. Abel Keen, can I get some hype in the chat?
Heck yeah.
That is $100 over our initial goal, so thank you, everyone.
GG's, everybody. So big shout out to all the staff, all the runners, everybody that's been donating. It's always awesome when you can see all these people come together for really good cause, this animal shelter, and do some positive things. A lot of not real positive things going on in the world, so it's nice to have some good stuff to be a part of and enjoy with everybody else. So well done, everybody.
Yes, I very much agree. Lovely to be here helping out for the Heartland Animal Shelter, especially because there are no kill shelters, so every animal that goes in there, they stay until they're adopted.
Beautiful thing. Trying another kind of tricky little, not really a glitch or anything, but it's a oh cool, it worked. Okay, so we can use the robot to kind of confuse that robot up there, the other robot, the bad robot with the good robot, and it gets distracted back to the left, and we're able to move underneath without having to worry about it getting to us. Hopefully we can undo the robot, our good robot, not get seen by the red light, and make it through that little puzzle a little bit quicker than you could normally do. Okay, buddy. There we go. So we're gonna block the steam. This is, I guess, besides the glitch found earlier, probably one of the other bigger glitches. where we just kind of turn around and use that where you walk into a wall and can jump up. If you walk into this backwards, you can just kind of clip through it and it doesn't interfere with your progress. So normally you have to use the robot to kind of get stuck in a cog, and that keeps that crusher thing from moving up and down. And then you crawl through that and you have to crouch and it's kind of slow. So by being able to just kind of walk back into that and clip through it, it just speeds up the process a little bit. I get a leg up from our robot friend once again. And then step stool it up. It has been fun watching just casual streams of this game and seeing how people attack most of these puzzles. There's a couple puzzles in the game that usually trip everybody up, and it's always interesting to see how they will try and solve the puzzle, or if they keep with it, if they give up and they try to look it up. Or I think there was one guy earlier on with the crusher thing, and he gave up on one stream, came back and spent like another couple hours before he finally got it. So most of the people do end up sticking with it and figure it out. If they won't help, I'm always happy to help, but they're usually, oh no, too early. They're usually pretty good about persevering through it, so it's always fun to see. But
That's a cool story too. Like if you're having a hard time with the puzzle, it's okay to walk away and come back to it. Don't get salty, don't get tilted. Just, you know, go have a sandwich, come back, and get it.
Exactly. Hydrate if you need to.
That's right, don't forget to hydrate.
Those beautiful eureka moments where you come back and you just see the solution that for some reason wasn't, alright robot, wasn't making itself known to you before. It just clicks sometimes. Sometimes you need a break, play a different game. Plenty of games, plenty of fun things to do. But yeah, we got this nice long section here. I'm gonna be trying to do another weird little glitch. It's more of just a visual glitch. It saves a couple of seconds, I think, if you get it right. So we're gonna take an intentional death here to respawn. Going to hop to the right here 4 times. Then use our arm device. Okay, did not work. Try it again. 2, 3, 4. Kind of just spam that for a second. If for some reason it kind of glitches out that machine gun turret, you can just run by it. So normally in this section you get on that bus and you're traveling out and there's like a little bit of a cutscene, and the bus travels along where we're running right now. So instead of that, we just kind of run through the scenery. You skip this cutscene where the guards kind of stop the bus, they pull you off, and they're eventually going to throw you in this like little jail cell. So instead of that, we run all the way to the end of the street, and it just kind of puts you in. So it's a little weird without the cutscene how you end up here, but just know it works. So we just gotta kind of dab our way to freedom. We bump this little cell into this pipe a couple times. And our poor dude here, we've lost our robot friend, and he's on his own. He's got a bit of a limp that kind of roughed him up a bit. So the last few minutes of this run will be, I guess, like a speed walk more than a speed run.
Okay, first you're gonna dab your way to freedom, and then you're gonna speed walk your way to freedom.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This is Black the Fall. If you've ever wanted to escape communism,
By dabbing.
Yeah, by dabbing, by not interacting with toxic water, and with the robot friend, then
Yeah, with a cute robot dog bug.
the robot, it's perfect. The perfect companion for escaping communism.
You've made so many amazing taglines for this game. The perfect companion for escaping communism. Dab your way to freedom. Black the Fall.
We're getting the nice kind of dark atmosphere going. The music starts to kind of pick up here. There's a little piano part that plays in a bit that's really nice and has a weird somber tone to it, but it's also got a hint of kind of optimism. Everything's just kind of in ruins. We take an intentional death here to speed up the red light turret thing behind us. But otherwise, the rest of this run, which should only be a few more minutes, is just kind of limping our way through, thinking about the actions that we had to take to get to this point. And surviving just a little bit longer. Gonna hop a ride. We'll do some sad...
It's a very, very good theme for our times. Surviving just a little bit longer.
Good Lord, yes. Hopefully it doesn't get to this point where we are escaping machine gun turrets and that kind of thing, but yeah. They do have metal gears, so that's kind of cool. Again, it takes a little bit of a dark tone coming up here where we... this next lever that we pull is actually going to drop, I think, just a bunch of shoes. And then we use the pile that it creates to kind of hop out and keep going. So just a lot of kind of dark, real-world undertones to this game. That, yeah. It's a bit of an unusual speedrun, I suppose. We will eventually have this pile of shoes be high enough for us to jump up to that ledge. And then...
that's another phrase I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Pile of shoes.
And then kind of the big gotcha moment of the game is the next room that's full of coffins. And they don't stay empty for long, unfortunately. But our last little stealthy move here, and pretend to be dead to escape this red light of death. But this is where it's really soft. I don't know if it might not be coming through stream, but there's a soft little piano piece that plays in the background, and that kind of lets you know that you're finally getting to the end. You are making it out of this hellhole and breaking free, kind of overthrowing this regime. There are a bunch of people gathered outside, and you find yourself a kind of broken down Metal Gear machine. It's kind of broken just like this character is, and you use it to finally crumble the last wall between you and the people and freedom. So at the end, the very end of the game, you are kind of overthrowing this oppressive force and finding freedom, whatever is left of this world.
Also an excellent theme for our times.
Yeah. But this is kind of a brutal way to end a speedrun, because it is... You're kind of going and going, and then you just trudging along, but hopefully this machine gets through the wall. There has been an occasion or two where I don't know what this wall is made of, but sometimes it's made out of stronger stuff than normal, and you can't break through the wall. So hopefully that doesn't happen, and we can actually get through to the end of the game. But we got maybe a couple more minutes, and then that should be the run. So hopefully we're still under estimate.
Pretty on target.
But yeah, you just keep holding right. You got the crowds of people cheering. You got the guy with the flag. Got the guard up top trying to stop you, and you just kind of keep ramming this wall. Please crumble completely.
I'm rooting for the robot.
Come on, buddy. Big robot. Yes. All right. So then this is that long section of just running and jumping where you get to see pictures from the actual like revolution that happened in Romania. You get to see pictures of the developer team. Just kind of brings it all back to the fact that like this is some real stuff that people have to deal with, and just a nice somber kind of into the game. Little reflection point. But yeah, just want to thank everybody for letting me run this game. Awesome job raising so much money for this animal shelter. That's really good to hear. Yeah, Sand Sailor Studio, this is Black the Fall. This is the developers. Little baby pictures. And then the run will come to an end once the guy runs off the screen on the right. So coming up in just a few seconds. And that should be time.
GG.
Right. That was that. If you want to play it, check it out. Again, not a lot of active interest in the game, but that doesn't mean there aren't plenty of things that could be found. It's a bit of a weird game with controls and glitches and stuff, so who knows?
Yeah, join the community now and be one of the founders.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, ripWSB, for that amazing run of Black the Fall. And I'd also like to thank Sergeant Silent for the raid. Thank you very, very much. Coming up on deck, we have Nick with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So stay tuned.